First 5. They got the easy bucket on the first possession to Patterson, and now they've missed 4 in a row. Miller got a hand on it, poked it away from Bitzer, and the Chippewas will inbound.
Yeah, Bitzer, another player that missed quite a few games early, academically ineligible the first semester, so only his third, fourth game back. Seems to be kind of the glue for this team. Does a little bit of everything, nothing great, but just solid all around.
It's going to be interesting for me, Kyle, to see how Sloan plays now that he's already gotten his first extended time on the court as Miller got caught on the fake and fouls Bitzer.
I wouldn't think that excitement would continue, though. Being a Kentucky kid and the chance to play here in Rupp for the Wildcats, I don't think it's just a one and done. I think anytime he gets out there, he's going to be fired up.
I understand, but 25 minutes against Florida Atlantic. He's now been in a tight game at the collegiate level, and hopefully there's even more of a comfort factor. There he is, picking up the loose ball and leading the break. And now he gets the shot, and look at him hustle for the miss.
It was a good look at the basket from the corner by Landon Sloan. You can see the home state kid getting a big round of applause, but just, again, didn't quite get his legs on it, but did read that it was short, went right back after it. You see Porter with the deflection leading to Sloan's pickup.
Just trying to guide it in a little bit still on the shot, but the great hustle to chase down the loose ball. Sloan with a defense. He closes out. Harmon can't get the shot, and Sloan with a rebound.
Yeah, if you're guarding Harmon, you want to definitely find him on the three-point line. About 76% of his shots from behind the three.
That was not a good pass from Michael Porter. And in transition, Jordan Bitzer, the junior from Unionville, Michigan, left open, and Central Michigan now with a 5-point lead.
And actually, David, as poor as the Wildcats playing, they're probably fortunate it's not more than 5 at this point.
Patterson with a strong drive, and Van is called for the foul on the strip. But again, the Cats with trouble generating the offense early on. They find themselves in an early hole at home. Fans, don't forget that Whitaker Bank will donate $100 to the Kaywood Ledford Scholarship Fund for each bank shot made in tonight's game. 7-2, the Chippewas on top of the Wildcats of Kentucky. We take a look at Michael Porter, who had the turnover earlier, but Kyle, in the last several games, he's really turned around that assist-to-turnover ratio.
Well, it's going from a negative ratio to a positive, very positive ratio. You'd like to see that 21-4 as he's done the last 4 games. And that's really when Kentucky's shown some improvement those last 4 or 5 games, things starting to come together. Today, though, Kentucky has already turned the ball over 3 times, leading to 5 points for the Chippewas.
And Patrick Patterson gets the roll to go in his last 4 games now. He's a perfect 14 of 14 from the line. He was 7 of 7 against Appalachian State, and he played all 40 minutes. And Kentucky needed him for all 40 minutes, and that went over Florida Atlantic.
Kentucky struggling from the field, 1 of 6, only 17%, while Central Michigan shooting 50%, 3 of their 6 shots.
Unless Kentucky moves without the basketball and creates some shots, Central Michigan is not going to give them good looks at the basket.
No, and as you look at their scores during the entire season, they've always been a low-scoring team, 50s, 60s, low 70s.
And there's Harmon. And while Central Michigan is not giving up easy looks, they are getting easy looks.
Yeah, and like I said before, with Harmon, it's hard to believe 76% of his shots come behind the three-point line. So I think I'd try to make him put it on the floor.
That's recognizing the scouting report. And Porter can't get it to go. And Patterson has the rebound knocked away. Another 3 ball. And that's Jeremy Allen. And Kentucky finds itself falling behind 13-4. Central Michigan 3 of 4 from outside the arc.
And as you watch Central Michigan now playing defense, all of a sudden a lot more excitement, players clapping their hands defensively. They're into the game.
And Central Michigan bailed Kentucky out right there as Allen gets called for the foul coming over the back of Patterson as a pass intended for him goes clanking off the far side of the backboard.
I don't know so much of the Central Michigan bailed him out as the official with that call might have bailed him out, but now they go back man-to-man on the out-of-bounds play.
Kentucky with Miller, Patterson, Sloan, Porter, and Perry Stevenson. And Kentucky again can't get one to go. They hit their first field goal, and now they've missed 8 in a row. Porter takes it to the rim and gets it to go.
What Michael Porter did so well that time was push the ball down the floor before Central Michigan had a chance to set their defense. Just read the play. Good take.
Badly needed basket for Kentucky, and maybe even more so for Porter and his own confidence. That time the pass is batted away, and then Miller loses it right back. And it turns into 2 for the Chippewas as Bitzer knocks down the short jumper.
Yeah, he's a solid player. Didn't try to do too much. Pulled up. Wide open shot. Kentucky now again moving perimeter. Get into gaps, pull to the defense, go to the short corner, look opposite. Much better ball movement that time.
And Sloan got that one to go. Maybe that'll loosen him up.
Yeah, but I think, again, he's getting those minutes like we talked about. The more he stays out there on the floor, the more and more he's going to feel like he belongs out there, and that's where you get that confidence to shoot the ball.
First three-pointer of the night for the Cats. They made their first field goal, missed their next 8, and now have reeled off 5 straight. Allen. That one clanks off, and he had some defense in his face. Porter on the drive. Draws the contact, and Harmon will be called for the foul.
For Kentucky, Jody Meeks replaces Darius Miller, and checking in for Central Michigan.
Who's that last basket by Michael Porter? He's splitting 2, and no one picks him up, just takes it all the way to the glass. Got that one finished. Also back on defense. You know, Central Michigan's an interesting team because they do try to control the tempo with their defense. They'll change it up as they have done here tonight. Now back man-to-man. But offensively, they really don't go inside that much, and that's why opponents have been out-shooting them from the free throw line. For the last 4 or 5 games, opponents have actually made more free throws than they've shot. So offensively, you want to take it inside. Defensively, you really need to extend out on the perimeter and guard the guys.
And Sloan is able to draw the block as the Cats look for some offensive continuity. But they go to this second media timeout, finding themselves still trailing the Chips by 6. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Bridgestone Firestone S&S Tire Wildcat Player of the Game. That's the Wildcat Player of the Game, brought to you by Bridgestone Firestone and S&S Tire. Cats trailing Central Michigan 15-9 as we are nearing the midway point of the first half here at Rupp Arena. Dave Baker, Kyle Macy, Rob Bromley with you. Kentucky's lineup now. You see DeAndre Liggins, who got the start, back in there. He's in there along with Jody Meeks, Landon Sloan, Josh Harrelson, and Patrick Patterson. And a foul is called underneath. And Carl Hess whistles one against Antonio Weary.
Central Michigan very aware of the streak that Jody Meeks has been on, and they're staying right inside his shirt. That time Weary got called running through that pick.
Here's a place where Kentucky's had so much success, the set inbounds play. And this time they have to reset the offense. Nice ball fake by Sloan. Pretty play by the freshman.
Yep, just a real good shot fake. Lifted his defender, went right by him with a dribble pull-up. It's a simple game. Sometimes we just make it hard.
You know, Mason, it looks like, and there's Sloan with a hand on the basketball. And the Chippewas have to call timeout. So the youngster making plays at both ends of the court.
Well, and you hope that his good play is going to also light a little fire under some of the other players on the bench that maybe haven't been performing up to the expectations. But he's done a real good job making open shots and hustling on the defensive end. That's the kind of lift you want from a player you really didn't expect much from to start the season.